davidp came alive.
So, moving on to the map at hand, Haven. Team Arch, we've been talking time and time again how they need to pick things up here a little bit. They're going to be starting us off on the defense, and Mixwell, of course, on the attack. Already locked and loaded, set up towards an A push to start us off on the pistol. We'll have to see how Team Arch are able to defend from this, but they've spread out a little bit and sent one over towards C-Long as well.
So again, we talked about it, and the only reason I want to make note of it is because we talked about it so much. Tohaj now swaps over to the Raze, Fearoth on the Phoenix. So that'll be one of the changes we see coming into this map. Team Mixwell, looking like they want to maybe head over towards the A site, at least early on, but it might be a bit of a fake. Poirot, PM, pushed up on C-Long, able to spot one, and actually does get away from that as well. So that's big, as that gives them all the intel, all the information. davidp sticking around on the A site, sneaking around on this A site, catches a dart in the side from the camera and realizes that he is in a seriously difficult spot to get out of. Meanwhile, though, davidp actually finds two before going down, and Mixwell has opened up the C site as well. The defending side is confused as there's players on both C and A doing serious damage. It comes down to Tohaj, and Tohaj gets a one-tap dirt nap from Mixwell. It's now just one alive. It's going to be Noizeeh here, the Cypher, who's going to get caught off guard by a side shot from CREA. There it is. Fantastic pistol play coming out from Mixwell.
Yeah, already I'm seeing the agent selection for Team Arch a little bit all over the place once again. Tohaj, specifically on the Raze. I think this is his third agent selection that I've seen him on. Fearoth as well on the Phoenix. Not something that you see too often, but it'll pop up here and there. And you know, I seriously wonder, even if they had the most optimal agent selection, would it really change much? Would it really still make that much of a difference? I still feel like it isn't really the agent selection that they're not able to duel things out with. Not even just Team Mixwell, but with Team Xerath as well. I think it's much more about their strategy and their ability to try to set up these crosses over the buddy system to take down some of these members.
There's the push through, and that did not pan out well at all. Orbs found 4. Once the ace, not going to get it. Denied by Fearoth here with the classic pushing through from B site. But they've lost C, and they've lost B, and they've lost everything. It's another round going the way of Mixwell unless Fearoth can pull something seriously impressive out of the hat. A nice first shot onto davidp, dinks him down to about half HP. But the spike will also get planted at the same time of his demise. 2-0 is the start for Mixwell, as we'll see the first buy coming in from Team Arch.
Yeah, very unfortunate stuff. You know, when davidp goes into the second round of the Vandal and escapes, that has to feel bad. You know, you can't let that slide. Of course, Team Arch, of course, they will have their first full buy, have the opportunity to try to make a dent into Team Mixwell, and they will look to do so. 3 poised towards the courtyard, looking to try to play a little bit more aggressively as Team Mixwell. They've set up a little bit of reconnaissance to try to push in through the courtyard. A couple of kills already traded away, and now they're running and gunning towards the B site.
There's the bomb buddy giving away that intel right now. Tohaj starts shooting at nothing. The satchel goes down. A late boost. CREA able to find 2. davidp waits for the hop up. And just like that, the round has completely fallen apart yet again. Team Arch are getting nowhere fast in this early couple of rounds. 4 players survive in the first full buy round coming in for Team Mixwell versus Team Arch. This is not looking good. I mean, we watched Team Arch struggle on Haven earlier against Team Zerator, going down 13-1. I don't want to see that happen again.
Thanks.
I mean, you touched on how CREA doesn't really, he doesn't really feel that comfortable on Bind. You know, for Team Arch, this might be that map that they just cannot find success whatsoever, and we're seeing that, you know, firsthand. Already 3 over towards Team Mixwell, and looking like another on the docket, considering the economy position for Team Arch. They've got some ghosts, some shorties, and unfortunately a dead omen down in the doors.
Noizeeh on site with a shotgun. Oh, that's so sad. Noizeeh thought for sure the Bucky was going to let loose. But the wall goes up just in the nick of time. Meanwhile, it's actually going to be Fearoth who upgrades to a Vandal, but Fearoth is now trying to hold on to it as the rest of his team falls. Vitinho says, there's no way in hell I'm letting you save that thing. 4 straight rounds with heavy success rate coming in from Mixwell. Limited casualties, 3 deaths. Or, excuse me, counting the wrong category there. 5 deaths coming in across the board for Team Mixwell. Look at the opposite side. Everyone's died every single round. Not a single survivor. No saves has occurred just yet.
Yeah, rough stuff for the side of Team Arch. Just trying to find success any way that they can. And Team Mixwell, similar to Team Zerator, are saying, not today. Taking them down bit by bit. So far, an early op shot not going to connect with anyone down Banana, and Arch now has to back away to give some space over to Team Mixwell. They've got control of Banana. They're starting to push through, but run it back and try to gather intel from behind. Tino with an early kill onto Arch, and the run it back not able to find out anything.
Shock darts going in. Mixwell and company just scooping up control of the A site without really any resistance. It's looking quite difficult right now for Team Arch. Orb pushed up, knows there's one to the left as it's spotted by the Owl drone. It was Tohaj who's backing off with the operator. They're on the hunt right now as PM is trying to back away in spawn with 5 HP. Gets the first. Will the follow-up be there? No. Mixwell tries to make do with the Sheriff, and all of a sudden, this round is looking like it's going to be a little bit expensive here for the attacking side of Team Mixwell. They're still going to win it, but Poirol just continues to punish them for all of these aggressive pushes, trying to rip the guns away from them.
Like you said, an expensive match for sure, but still they're not able to defuse the spike, and the very bare minimum, they can try to knock down Team Mixwell from having too much of a lead at the beginning of this half. We'll have the weaponry in the following to try to still compete and make things interesting. The double op play coming into factor for Team Arch on Tohaj and PM respectively. That's the type of thing that I like to see. The operator can do a lot, especially if you're on the defense. You know, the opposition has to walk into your crosshair, not the other way around. So we'll see how they end up using it. Tohaj positioned towards the doors and PM down C.
That flicked shot there from the op, not going to connect here for the defense, but that one will. Tohaj playing inside garage. CREA trying to get aggressive on site. Sneaks into the backside of site. They don't even know he's here. CREA's found 2. Vitinho in there as well. And again, defense is just gone, decimated, dismantled, destroyed. Noizeeh, realizing that there is no way he's going to get back into that C site, decides to just try and hang on to the gun in his hands. A 6th round for Mixwell. Everything they seem to do works.
All up to Noizeeh now. He's going to find solace all by himself up in heaven. Potentially joined by the rest of his fellow comrades. Tough stuff here if you're a Team Arch fan, if you're a fan of any of the players or content creators, to see them struggle so difficultly up against Team Mixwell. Like you've been saying, everything that they've been executing on has been working out quite effectively. And in some of these scenarios, they're not even getting a handy amount of refrags. They're just taking down 1v2 or they're taking down 1v3, and then there's not enough bodies left to try to trade things back around. And for the side of Team Mixwell, that is an A+ in my books. Keeping things into their favor. 6 rounds straight for them. That's when you start to have to wonder, is this going to slip away from Team Arch, or they can try, or can they try to claw their way back?
Well, it's going to have to start here. They need to put their foot down, and they need to do it quick. The money not really stacking up nicely there for PM, also known as Poirol in server. Just an SMG going to be carried here. It's the Spectre. They do have to contend again with Mixwell's op. There's the ult coming out, though. You saw that. Mixwell leaping up over top of the wall to try and get that intel to spot them out. Doesn't know there's one in the corner. Might still connect here. No, it's Fearoth managing to make do. CREA has actually gotten up into the heaven spot here on attack. Spots out the ult coming in from Poirol as well, so we'll cancel that one out. And they're going to go ahead and gather up site control and go for the plant as soon as they take care of Noizeeh, who is in position in hell. Nades coming out, raining out high, trying to delay that spike plant. So it's a 3-on-3, and despite this long period of time that has passed with site control, they're just now getting that spike planted.
Yeah, very difficult now to get into those post-plant positions, but they will try their darndest to get there. We're already seeing davidp try to double back and see who's going to be going in through the sewers, but it's Team Arch that are poised in towards Blink and one up in heaven. They'll get that res as well to get Mixwell back into the mix. It is Arch as well that try to get one kill into Coutinho. It's CREA that almost finds the second, but Tohaj sends one flying with the showstopper. Now the 2v2. Ruba going to be looking down into the sewers. The res as well. They're going to keep on going. They're chugging along the barrier orb to try to stop that push in from Banana, but it's Mixwell with the shot. And now all up to davidp versus Noizeeh. The defuse is coming through. The spike is sticking. Noizeeh gets the last kill, but he doesn't have enough time to defuse. And another round on the board for Team Mixwell.
Couldn't get to the edge of that one either. He kept looking back. Got to get outside that door roughly, depending on where the spike is planted on the site. 7 straight rounds. Yes, that was a scorched earth approach. Everyone died to win that round for Mixwell. But 7 rounds in a row. Looking so good right now on attack. Even when it's not looking great, it's still a round that goes their way. You've got Tohaj, who again goes back to the operator. Saw Tohaj hit a shot through the doors earlier to try and slow down a seaside push, but it all fell apart pretty quickly after CREA went for the port into the backside of site off the back of that deep, dark cover that came in towards that C site. But the action picks off again here. There's the Hunter's Fury coming out. The Dart giving away that position, trying to spot them out with the Hunter's Fury, not actually connecting on a single charge. Wow. Meanwhile, you've got Portal getting aggressive off the back of that. Love the look from PM. And that's a move that was desperately needed from Team Arch to get their foot in the door.
Still the 3v4, and Mixwell have the tools at their disposal to try to turn this one back around. But the spike's in enemy territory, and they need to start the infiltrate. We're seeing the pings come through towards C-Link to make sure that either the defense know where they're going to funnel in or for the offense to know where they might start to come through. It is PM still waiting near the spike, and once you know where the spike is, you really don't have to do a lot. Still Team Mixwell looking to try to push in a little further to try to make their way towards that C side. I mean, they've got no choice at this point. Mixwell going to be the one that leads the charge. PM now waiting on the opposite side. Here's the footsteps start to stampede through, but they'll slow it down. Keep PM guessing. Tohaj finds a kill onto CREA. Crucial one to make things back into their favor. Mixwell trades it back around. 2v4 looking down long. The barrier orb stops it, but it's the boost. And picking up the orb in the face of danger, it's Mixwell, Arch, and Tohaj. Buddy system in tow. Take one down and put one on the board for Team Arch.
A little bit of a miscommunication there from davidp and Mixwell. davidp was chipping away at the wall, spraying as Mixwell was going for the orb pickup. Mixwell was one orb away from getting the ult, so I understand what the play was designed to do, but doesn't ultimately work. So finally, Arch gets on the board. Team Arch finds their first round, but it took them a very long time to get to this point, and even that round was a little bit hard fought. Again, you have Tohaj on the operator, and there's the ult pop coming in from Mixwell. Mixwell pulls out the knives, knows there's one here, knows he's right around the corner. Fearoth gets punished. It's an understandable push there from Mixwell, but Arch should have been traded out by CREA. Doesn't happen. They've still got control of long, though, so they're pushing their way onto the site. The Sage right around the corner, and a 1-2 punch from him and Coutinho guarantees the site control. Very fast play. We're at 1:15 as the spike goes down on the site. PM is looking around, wondering where all of his friends have gone.
PM. You led the charge there in the previous round, and now you have to do it again. Pick up the slack from your team. All up to you now. Shoulders are heavy.
Cover going out.
Like the idea of that pump fake there. Try to give them an idea of where he might be going, but he'll back away and look like he will save the weapon or even pick up the operator to move on into that next round. Potentially even look for a couple of kills on his way out. The difficult task for him to take in the 1v3 is save the weapon, pick up a new one. And another round on the board here for Team Mixwell. 1-8. Coutinho somehow loses his life, underestimates the power of the spike. But now moving into the second, Team Arch They're just clinging on for dear life.
This is looking like it could be just as bad as their first match of the day. Team Arch, just something isn't clicking. Something isn't working. And they're trying to change positions. They're trying to change roles. You see PM now on the operator. It's switched hands a few times, gone around the block and back. We'll see if this maybe is what it takes to produce success, because even that one round they got wasn't exactly easy for them. Nades coming out on C long. Slows down the push initially, but it does look like they're going to be grouping up towards that side. You've got Poro picking off Orb. That's the Cypher going down. Owl Drone and Bomb Buddy both colliding in sight. The port on top of the box from CREA. That is a ballsy play coming out from CREA, knowing there's one back site. Tohaj does not anticipate it. So they're going to go ahead and gobble up site control. They do have to contend with one that's coming through on the flank, as they've got one garage. Fearoth through the smoke somehow gets the best of CREA. Do they anticipate the second player through, though? davidp catches the operator off guard, even eats a shock dart from his teammate, switches over to the up. davidp hits a third. It's all down to Noizeeh yet again, but it's Noizeeh against davidp. davidp has the res, but there's not a body in sight to pick up. Has to change positions if he wants to do that. So it'll come down to this. The spike tap. Is he sticking it? Dedication to the defuse. Noizeeh's not sure. Pulls off. Goes for the swing against davidp, and he says, no way. No how. This is my site. 4 kills on the round for davidp, and a massive clutch against Team Arch.
davidp. We saw how great you can play on Bind, and you're showing us, schooling us even, on Haven. Having a quick look at that CREA play. Really good heads-up play coming up from him, but it's really davidp who's the hero here. Pushing through the smoke, quick shots onto Arch, and then trying to play mind games with Noizeeh. No need. Lands a headshot, clears the 4K, and now we are at 9-1 in this first half.
Look at this John Elway slow orb going way up the rainbow as it lands over towards the B site. I mean, that play from CREA was also pretty impressive. The port on top of the boxes when there was one back site. It's just such a crazy play to even see that work.
I know exactly.
Again, you see them take the A site and basically nothing to slow them down here. Arch was rocking just pistols coming into the round. It's understandable that they'd struggle on the defense. As you see the attempt to set up for exit kills, they're all back towards the attacker's side spawn. The Bomb Buddy does come out, so Mixwell's going to get killed regardless of what happens. But it was Arch with the rifle from range who's now running away and trying to hold on to it a little while longer.
Gets into a gun duel with Orb, and unfortunately will hold on to a whole lot of nothing as we enter into the last and final round of the half. Not looking so good for Team Arch. Of course, they've got ultimates to play with, and boy, do they want to play with them if they want to try to keep things a little competitive. Look at the buys, though. Bulldogs and Spectres, they really could not scrounge up their pennies and dimes for this one. Salvation Army bargain bin has not been kind to them in this round, and if they do not win this round is probably super important to win, because for Team Mixwell, if they win the pistol in the second half, then it's pretty much game over. It's pretty much game over. So a lot of repercussions if they don't win this one coming up.
Oh, Boyrel gets aggressive and ports back behind the boxes in mid. I like the look. Oh, that is so well played by davidp yet again. He's been an all-star performer, and here he just frags out. That is 3 on the round for davidp. Wants to find a 4th, wants to repeat his success from before, and does catch Tohaj going for the Bomb Buddy. 8 HP, but the Bomb Buddy will mop davidp aside. So it is going to be a 1-on-2. It's Tohaj with 8 HP, an op and a dream.
I mean, they still need to get that spike down. They'll get it down here. It's the 1v2. Tohaj can really get the job done. Spycam going to find Orb with a face full of op. And now it's all up to Mixwell here. He's got the Phantom in tow, looking to try to get the job done. But Tohaj is just sticking the defuse. And it might be the clutch that comes through in Mixwell now. Thought that he was dealing with a little bit of funky business, but Tohaj schools him, gets the defuse. And now a 10-2 half. I mean, I talked about how important that round was to win, and they just somehow make it work.
Pros don't fake. Tohaj just dedicates himself to that one. This was the play from davidp, though. Using the wall to boost up over the top, then also dropping the Cypher. Thought for sure we'd see the final kill on that as well. But there was just awkward timing between the peek with Tohaj and the AWP and the bomb buddy all coming out at the same time. Just which one do you shoot at? Which one are you dodging? So davidp did his damage in the round. That was fine. Shouldn't have come down to the situation that it did. But Mixwell just not anticipating a full-on stick, given that Mixwell was holding a pistol in his hand. He knew his target was low. So he just anticipated maybe a bait and a hold with the operator. Here in the second half, though, Mixwell and his squad of merry gentlemen going to be trying to do their best to just completely shut them out. Poirel with a great port past the cyber cage. davidp, though, punishing in his own right, finding two. Poirel is going to find a second on the round as well. Moving through the dark cover, Fatinho gets dropped by Poirel, who's now on a rampage. It's davidp who drops out of heaven and brings things down to one. The Rays on long alone with the spike.
Tall task ahead here for Tohaj. He's likely going to get the spike down, not before Team Mixwell hears that spike go down, but he's still playing the long game. He's got 50 seconds left on the clock and might look to get a little bit of movement here, but does not check behind him. It's CREA that'll win that round here to start us off in the second half. One round away from the last possible buffer round here for Team Arch. Having a quick look at the replay. PM doing what he can to keep the dreams alive here for the side of Team Arch, but it's not even enough, it feels like. Gets so many kills, but Team Arch are not able to seal the deal.
davidp again, 20 kills. 2 maps in a row now, crossing that 20 line, that 20 threshold. Again, he at times was a little bit lackluster, but has obviously found his footing. As now we see Mixwell facing off against a full Seaside execute. You've got Mixwell playing close with the judge. Does the shotgun deliver? First one's on the money. Second one follow up as well. It's going to be Fatinho and Mixwell with the airs and the judge. And they just decimated it. So now we are on 12-3. Match and map point coming in for Mixwell. Team Arch, what do they bring to the table? Let's take a look at the scoreboard and see the buy and see what possibly could be coming into play. Full rifles across the board, as they did save in the previous round.
On my way.
Just like to point out, your friendly neighborhood LMG player, 2 Ares and an Odin. Okay, CREA says not today. Switches back to the Phantom. But they're getting a little spicy here. Fatinho going to break down those doors in a matter of seconds. And Team Arch are going to be like, what is happening? Oh my god! What? Fatinho gets it. Oh, I did not expect that to work, and yet it does. And yet it does.
You could see the dot, and we're thinking like, there's no way he peeks into that, right? Like, it's not going to happen, does it? Oh, it does. Tohaj goes down. It is a 3-on-4, so the numbers advantage isn't too extreme here, but there's heavy damage dealt to the Omen, and the Sage is currently watching from the sidelines. Here comes the shotgun push. The dark cover came down, but it was just way too late, so Mixwell able to deliver with the judge. Fearoth trying to work up onto the A site. There's one still here playing in heaven. That's the Sage. And it's davidp playing an off angle with the Bulldog, sort of surrendering site control and playing for the retake.
It's all up to Team Arch here to try to make ends meet. Oh, great look there from Noizeeh, but Fearoth will get the refrag. All up to Fearoth now. He's got a Phantom and a Dream, 1 piece of utility, and 57 HP. Trying to look for those pesky little jumps in from Mixwell. Unfortunately, not going to be the case. Hot Hand's going to try to get that corner all sorted out, and with that spike going down, it is now up to the retake. But Fearoth definitely feels the pressure as Mixwell hop, skips, doesn't miss a beat with CREA. The buddy system is clean. And Team Mixwell finishing the series in a 2-0 victory. What a performance coming out from the team. And now the